again, everybody, it's Todd Staruch, the Horror Nerd, here at New Jersey HorrorCon and Film Festival. It's day 2 of the convention. I have been having a blast all weekend. I have been able to speak to so many cool people this weekend, and that continues now with Mr. Charles Edwin Powell. Charles, how are you?
I'm doing very well, man. Had a good time over the last couple of days.
Yeah, it seems busy, the whole weekend. It's good.
Nothing but people. It's just this wave of people constantly coming in.
Nice. So, you know, obviously, where most people are here, we're talking about Stream. You know, I've known these guys a long time. I really enjoyed the movie.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on how it has just exploded in popularity?
One of the biggest things that I'm taking away from at least this convention is the love that comes into this room for independent cinema. Because anybody that knows the Fuzz guys, the Fuzz boys, the grind that they have to go through to get from point A to point B, which is getting the film out, just to this point, and getting it released in the cinema, and then getting it online streaming. The response has been phenomenal, and you can almost feel it when people come into the room and they just start talking about the film, and it's nice to be around. You know, you could listen to that all day long.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So as independent filmmakers ourselves, what I love about it, and these guys with Terrifier and now with Stream, is I don't know if legitimacy is the right word, but it's bringing more legitimacy to indie filmmaking, and theaters realize, hey, these movies can show in a theater and make money.
Absolutely.
You know?
Absolutely. I think last year you started to see a little bit of this. Right after sort of the SAG strike ended and moving into that world, you saw a lot of sort of studio consolidation with pictures and more importantly, original ideas. You know what I mean? As opposed to like looking in the vault saying, okay, let's remake this.
Yeah.
You have guys like Fuzz on the Lens cranking out things like Stream and like Terrifier, and sort of looking at the system a very different way and saying, I believe in my product. I believe in what we're doing. Let's see how far we can go as a unit, as a family, and how far we can take this without so much necessarily getting the studio money involved. But to your point, I think supporting independent cinema, it is a grind. You know it's a grind.
Yeah, 100%.
You've been there, you're a filmmaker at all, you know what I'm talking about, right? So I think, honestly, if anybody makes a movie, they should get an award right away, because just getting a movie made is amazing. Never mind trying to sell it in the cinema or stream it, but just getting it done is a huge accomplishment that people need to be aware of.
100%. And I will tell you this, and I shared this conversation with Damien some time ago. As much as it's a grind, as much as challenging as it is, at the end of the day, I succeed or fail with my vision without some studio exec telling me what to do.
100%.
And if it doesn't work, well, I'll learn from that and figure it out next time.
Right.
So
The more money the studios give you, the less control you have.
Yeah.
And what I love about Mike and what Damien are doing is they're really trying to hang on, especially with art and the characters from Stream. They want to control as much as they can, and they should, because it is their vision, it's their creation, right? So the more they get involved, the more money they have, the more it's going to be probably a little difficult to hang on to those decisions.
Yeah.
That final mix, that final cut is a director's cut. But if anybody's going to get it done, it's going to be these guys.
100%.
Yeah.
Now, I do want to so we talked a little bit about Exorcist III the other day, and I love this movie, and I'm glad that over the years, more and more love developed for it, because it is actually a really good movie.
Right.
And we talked a little bit about your experience with it.
Yeah.
Can you share that
Sure.
with the fans out there?
What a lot of people don't know, several years ago, there was some things coming out on the internet about how the reshoot was done. The original film, The Exorcist III, didn't have necessarily an exorcism in it.
Right.
How does that? So they financed a reshoot. The reshoot was about 3.5, 4 weeks. They brought back George C. Scott, they brought back Nicole Williamson, and they brought back Jason Miller. Jason Miller was there for about 2 or 3 days. I have to believe they shot most of his close-ups then, but the problem is they needed 3.5 more weeks of his character in the reshoot to make this happen. So what they did was they shot out and wrapped Jason, and then they hired me to play the patient X, the Gemini killer, his character for the next 3.5 weeks with Nicole Williamson in that cell.
Wow.
To finish out, almost as a double, but when you have to spend 4.5 hours in makeup every day to get this done, it was truly an experience that I will never forget. Working with Bill Blatty, an amazing individual. I have nothing but praise for him. He was sort of the calm voice in the storm of all of these few weeks of shooting, and nothing but respect for him. Yeah, absolutely. That's how I fit into it.
Nice, very cool, and that is some awesome makeup.
Yeah.
And like I said the other day, still one of the greatest jump scares in any horror film of all time.
Right.
Anybody out there hasn't seen Exorcist III Legion, watch it immediately, and you'll know what I'm talking about.
Right.
So back to Stream real quick.
Yeah.
So your role is very intense and very physical. You know, how do you get yourself? I know you're an actor, but how do you get yourself into that mindset of that kind of intensity in a horror film?
And it was important for Mike from the get-go to sort of have the Keenan family establish who they were and establish the role that they're going to play moving forward into this film. So it was important to Mike to make sure that they cared about this family, the husband, the wife, the daughter, and the son. For me, I'm a dad. I have twins. I have teenagers.
Okay.
So this dialogue almost came second nature. It's almost like I just had this conversation with my kids. Now I'm having it again when I'm on set, right? So that wasn't necessarily a stretch. What was a little challenging was the intensity of the scenes sometimes with the violence and the reaction to that, because those were long days and we did several different takes of what the reactions could be, and then Mike would figure out in the editing room. Yeah.
Very cool. I mean, I enjoyed your role very much, and I'm not saying that because I'm standing here.
$50,
yeah, listen, all right, thanks. I mean, I'm a dad myself. My daughter's going to be 20 in a few weeks, so I can totally relate. And you're like, oh, my daughter's sneaking off somewhere. Where is she going? Is she talking to a boy? You're right. No, not at all. But dude, the movie, I really did enjoy the movie, so it was very cool. So, anything else you're working on now? Any new projects coming up you can share with us?
I am. In fact, Screamboat's supposed to be coming out in April.
Like a couple weeks,
yeah,
maybe, right?
Like
April. Yeah, as we record this in beginning of March.
Right. I overheard April something. I don't know exactly, but I overheard it yesterday. That's supposed to be coming out at that point in time, and then I worked on another film in Florida. But it was not a horror film, so it was in the Fort Lauderdale Independent Film Festival. We ended up winning Best of there, so we're going to keep pushing along with that little film as well.
Awesome. And I almost forgot. I always love to ask this question from people who are in horror films. Are you yourself a horror film fan?
Absolutely.
Okay.
This is my first introduction into the gory horror part of the world, but I've always been a fan of the suspense and the intensity of horror in general.
Awesome.
You know, but when you get somebody like Damien involved doing your prosthetics, and even Mike said sometimes it's kind of like, yeah, we had it scripted this way, but Damien's here, so we're just going to let him do his thing and just get out of the way.
And you know it's going to be nuts.
And it is.
Oh boy.
Here we go. Here we go.
Looky. We're going to have to start doing a Where's Waldo. I'm popping in and out of
I didn't see this coming. You know, I didn't see this coming, and we got everybody photobombing. So I mean, why not? Does anybody else want to jump into the interview? I mean, I guess the bright light didn't give it away or anything. So, good stuff, man. Charles, thanks a lot for a few minutes of your time. It was great meeting you. I enjoyed the movie. I wish you much success with all your future projects and with the continued success of Stream.
It was very kind. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Charles Edwin Powell, everybody here at New Jersey HorrorCon and Film Festival. This is the Horror Nerd, Todd Staruch signing off. We'll see all of you in the next interview.